What's up, everyone? Today's June 10th. It's a Thursday, and I'm going to be going over the one trade I took today, which was on ROKU. It was ROKU calls. It was a nice winning trade. I haven't been making recaps every single day lately just because there haven't been that many good setups. And if I'm being completely honest, the last two I forced several setups which I shouldn't have. And due to that, I am unfortunately down on the week. Not a significant amount, but I still am down on the week. And yes, this week wasn't the best week to trade. However, I should have still come out on the green just by following my rules. So that's just lessons to work. I sized down a bit for the time. Just gonna regain that confidence and look to grow my account even further. Okay, so let's go over to ROKU. Okay. Yeah, so ROKU. So as I always talk about, all of my trades start from the higher time frame thesis. It's just how I trade. My style is looking at higher time frame, see where we're trending. So I go to a daily chart. ROKU is in its consolidation phase. No real clear uptrend. We are in an uptrend, but just looking left, we still are a little bit choppy. So let's go down to an hourly time frame now and look for some key resistance support levels. So this 346 level was a level I mentioned. It's a very, very important resistance level. You can see that it acted as resistance once here, and then it acted as resistance twice here yesterday. So, if we have a strong breakout of this 346 level, we should potentially see 350, the next psychological level, and 2-hour use supply. So this trade worked out to the T perfectly. And now let's go down to an intraday time frame where I can really analyze my entries and exits. Sorry, I've been watching Facebook just to see. Okay, Facebook's breaking out of this longer term wedge, but I know ES has fresh supply above, so yeah, I just got a little bit sidetracked. Let me go over to ROKU again. Okay, so we had resistance 3 times at this 346 level. So as I talked about, a strong breakout of it with momentum and volume should have a push higher. So I kind of made this guideline for myself. It's been working very, very well. Just a couple of questions I ask myself before I enter a trade. So I'm just going to be talking about those questions. So the first thing I'm asking myself is, okay, what are SPY and QQQ doing? If SPY and QQQ are choppy and there's a good setup, I'll still take it. I'll just be a little bit more cautious, maybe scale out quicker, scale out a little bit more aggressively. But, I just want to see how are SPY and QQQ trending. So on a higher time frame, both of them are in an uptrend. And today SPY broke all-time highs on the first 5-minute candle. I mean, you can see the volume of this candle too. It's really, really significant. Let me just highlight what I'm talking about. So first 5-minute candle of SPY broke through all-time highs, barely any upper wick, good volume. So same NQ had a beautiful push up. So that's just letting me know that, buyers are clearly in control. So that's the first question I asked myself. The second question is, how are we trending on the higher time frame? I just covered that minutes ago. This 346 level was a level I'm watching. The third question I ask myself is, okay, do we have any consolidation? I'm not just going to blindly chase a move up. I need some sort of consolidation before we potentially can move up again. And yes, I did have that consolidation. You can see that this 930 candle was this was a beautiful, what do you call it? $5-6 move up. So we had a rally, then we had a basing candle, and then we had a potential rally candle. So that's what I asked myself, and yes, I had that consolidation. The next thing is volume, strength, and momentum. Whenever I tend to trade closer to the open, there's always volume and momentum backing it up because off the open, we are very volatile. And just not even comparing it to SPY and QQQ, just looking at the chart of ROKU, the first 5-minute candle of ROKU moved from a low of 339 to its upper wick of 344. So what is that? Over a $5 move in a single candle on Roku? I can say with confidence that Roku is strong. There's no doubt about it. Just by this candle, I can tell that we have volume, strength, and momentum. Next is, do we have any fresh supply? The key here is, do we have any fresh supply above? Our nearest fresh supply was not for a while, 380. We did have this 2-hour use zone. In this case, it did work out, but as I talked about, use zones tend to not work out very well. But until they are broken, I keep use zones on my chart. So just looking at any potential supply zones, our next potential use supply zone is at 350. So, Roku has a potential to move over $4. And then my sixth rule is ask myself 1 through 5 again, just patience. I just covered it. And this is kind of how I'm going to be approaching videos now. I can list out the confirmations if you want. We had a clear 5-minute RBR, that's 1. SPY and Qs were extremely strong, 2. Breaking the 346 level, that's 3. What else? Okay, so I talked about 346, 5-minute RBR. We had clear relative strength, momentum. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm just putting all the pieces of the puzzle together, and that's how I'm formulating my plans and executing them, if that makes sense. So let me just quickly go over my entries. So I entered 4 contracts. Old me would have entered maybe 6 or 7, but for the time being, I sized down just to gain my confidence back. So I entered 4 contracts at 209. I know the spread was was very, very wide. However, if you trade on IB, you can market order in and it will fill you at a beautiful price. So I entered 4 at 209 right before this high day break, right before this 346 break. A couple of traders may have taken it as we crossed 346, but I always like to anticipate the break ever so slightly just to capitalize on this move. So this is where I believe I went wrong. I'm just going to minimize this entry just a little bit. So I entered right here as we started pushing up to high day. I took off 2 contracts just because I wasn't convinced of the move. This was very, very bad scaling out on my end. I exited 2 right when we broke high day, but I mean, the contracts were only up 15-20 cents. And I told myself that, because I've been taking losing trades the last 2 days because I've been forcing things, I want to make sure this trade's a winner. But as I talked about, trades are mutually exclusive of each other. So what I should have done is I should have only scaled 1 contract as we broke high. No reason to scale both of them here. So I did scale 2 here. As soon as we crossed above 346, above this resistance level, premium spiked. Very simple analysis, scale out another 1. And then my final target was 350, but because I only have 1 contract left, I wanted to capitalize on this full move up, and we were only $1 away from my target. So I just decided to scale my last one off at 349. If I had 2 contracts at this point, I probably would have scaled one out here and then sold my other one at my 350 target. But just because I had 1, I just wanted to protect myself. So besides that one minor thing, instead of scaling out 2 here, I should have just scaled out 1. That's the only minor fix I had to this trade. Regardless, besides that fact, this was a beautiful, beautiful trade on my end. A lot of things working in favor, higher time frame, positioning of SPY and QQQ. I had the consolidation, I had the strength and momentum, no fresh supply or used supply zones above, and I had good patience. So this was a very, very well executed trade. I ended up blocking around $241 after commissions. So not a significant amount, but I basically got $241 on 2 contracts, which is very, very nice, considering I kind of just gave away my other 2 contracts. Video is 9 minutes, pretty short. I just want to go over one more thing. A couple of people did take Amazon. Congrats if you took Amazon. Dylan tried taking it, tried getting filled twice, but didn't get his fill. I can quickly run through why I personally didn't take Amazon. So SPY and QQQ, very, very strong, check mark. Higher time frame. Yeah, if I go to a higher time frame, you can see that this 3295 level right here, it was clear resistance here last Tuesday. And then all of yesterday, this 3295 level acted as a barrier. So once we get above it, if you didn't take it because of the supply zone, keep in mind that the supply is used 1, 2, and 3 times. So used supply zones which are tested 3 times tend to not work out. So this supply zone is the reason
why a couple of traders didn't take it. However, I see no issue with the fact that there's supply because it's been tested 3 times. So that's a 3295 level I was talking about. So higher time frame check, volume. You can clearly see that this first candle on Amazon was over $20 move. So clear volume, clear strength, clear momentum. No fresh or used supply above. The reason I did not take this trade is because I could not find a single bit of consolidation here. This, first of all, this was traded off of the first 5 minutes, and second of all, there was no consolidation. This was a straight, whatever, 40, 50 point move up in the first 15, 20 minutes. So yes, we did have momentum. Yes, this was a higher time frame breakout. However, for me, one of my personal rules is consolidation. If I do not get that consolidation, I simply won't be playing it. It's really as simple as that. I don't want to overcomplicate it. Just letting myself know that, okay, I didn't get that consolidation I needed. So in simple terms, I won't play it. If it works out, great. However, according to my rules, I can't play it. So that's the reason I didn't play Amazon. A couple of traders took this 5-minute RBNR on Microsoft as well. This was a beautiful setup. Positioning of SPY is good. Higher time frame. I can just go on a 1-hour chart and show you that this 256 level acted as resistance here 1, 2, 3, and 4 times. So strong breakout above 256 with no supply. We have a gap fill, should cause a move higher. However, as I talked about, so higher time frame is good. SPY and Qs are good. Strong push up on SPY and Q. Consolidation, yes. Volume, it wasn't the best, but given this amount of data, you can see that we clearly have volume. No fresh supply above. However, this trade didn't work out because not all trades work out. Just because a trade is high probability doesn't guarantee that it's going to work out. So the only reason I did not take this trade is simply because I was in ROKU at the time and I didn't want to trade 2 things at the same time. So I guess you could say I got a little bit lucky choosing the right equity, the equity which worked out right away. But if I wasn't in ROKU, 1,000,000% I would have entered Microsoft here. I would have entered slightly before this high day break, slightly before the 256 break, and then once I see this 945 candle close above 256 with an upper wick and low volume, I would have scaled out aggressively, and this probably would have ended to be a break-even trade on my end. So that's how I personally would have played Microsoft. Don't see any setups here. This is just chop. So if you got faked out, always try to remember to take some sort of clean, maybe 5-minute RBNR, maybe some 15-minute RBNR. Always look for some sort of clean pattern and volume backing it up. Couldn't find that, so I didn't force anything here. So that was kind of the day. After the first 30 minutes, hour, everything kind of died down. Facebook was setting up. Facebook looks good going into later days. You can see we have this wedge pattern, so strong break above it should cause a move higher. In play because I think SPY had 15 minutes supply right here, which we pretty much rejected a point away, and we started coming down. So that's why I love supply and demand with support and resistance, because each part of the market is like a puzzle, and it's our job as traders to put every single piece of the puzzle together. So I'm going to end the video here, 13 minutes, a shorter video. I will not be here to trade on both Friday and Monday because I'm going to the beach with my friends. It's good to take a couple of days off from trading. Obviously, I don't want to. Kind of don't have a choice though, and it's good to spend time with friends. So I will be back to trade on Tuesday. Try not to force anything on Friday or next Monday if nothing sets up, and I will be back.